And at one point, it sounded so mythological, it was nothing we could really do with it. But now, like for instance, in this book right here, I have a study outline. Let me look up the study. Because when you say it, some of this stuff, it just sounds so Black Power-ish. But you have a European science team from Switzerland. And they put the studies together and they basically confirmed the whole entire Yakub theory. And I want to find that for you so I can quote the guy's name and everything. Okay, it's somewhere around here. But they did the study in Switzerland. Anyway, confirming the science. But what you want to know from that that's relevant is that the most important thing, which is why I'm trying to get people to go back into the Quran, back into the Bible, back into the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is because those were science books. Okay, here we go, right here. Blah, 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 blah. Dr. Heinz Eiberg, who led the team in Switzerland, all right? Originally, we all thought that brown eyes, blah, 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 blah. Those from Europe and the Near East have many characteristics that set them apart from the human race. Not only are they more likely to have blue eyes, blah, blah, blah. Basically what he's showing is that there was a mutation in their genes that happened about 8 to 10,000 years ago that caused the creation of the Europeans with the white skin and everything. So whether that was done on purpose or whether that was accidental, you want to just feed your genetic pool and go to the dominant side to keep everything scientific and not get into debatable stuff. So when you're dealing with that, you're dealing with the proper amount of sun, the proper exercise, breathing, and understanding what's happening. When you're looking at breathing, you're dealing at taking in magnetic fields into your body. When you're dealing at light, you're dealing with taking electricity in forms of direct information from the stars and the sun. No, go ahead, yeah, go ahead. Because you got some fire, so come on, let's go.
The last thing I was going to say was, I seen the DVD. Frank basically, he put me with the DVD you had about the Reese's Monkeys.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So, that...
Yo, Sheen, what's up? Delaware not gonna let me get away with that DVD, right? I'm going platinum in Delaware with that DVD.
And I'm from Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's like 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia. But I was watching that, and basically that alongside, who is it? And I heard, you heard of Razzcast, he had a song about Nature the Threat. It's basically, never heard of that?
Yeah.
And basically he tried to go into the whole history of the white man, where he came from, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that, he said that, basically Nature the Threat, he said there was genetic mutation, whatever, like the albino people or something like that. I don't want to say albino because I'm not like clear on the definition, but whatever, kicked them out, they went to Caucasus Mountains, whatever, then they came back, went someone to the desert, someone to the European, whatever.
There's some truth to it, but the overall theory is wrong. That's based on the out of Africa theory. And so what you're looking at is, for instance, we live in America right now. We get very little to no UVB radiation. None of us are becoming white folks. Grand opening, grand closing. People that were smart enough to build the pyramids, if they moved from Africa where they could find all the food and everything, and the girls was running around with nice bodies and everything, and they was already naked. If I go somewhere where there's no women and no food at, I'm smart enough that I can build a pyramid, so that means I'm also smart enough that I can turn around and go back home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get caught in a place where there's no food, no women, and decide that I'm going to stay there because I'm lost. All of a sudden, I lost all my brains. Like, no, I just go home.
Yeah.
Simple. So the whole out of Africa theory is hinged on the fact that a group of Africans went into this place and then they got trapped there in these horrible conditions, and they created homosexuality there because there were no women, so they started doing each other, and there was no food, so they ate each other, and Everything happened because there was no life forms there, so they just went crazy and lost their mind. Instead of doing the simplest thing and turning around and going home. Like they never addressed the simple common sense aspect of it. So sometimes they get so deep into science and 12-letter words and all that, they miss the regular common sense part. Like, hold on. So everything went wrong up there, but nobody went home? And then now they just shut down the whole conversation. Like, whoa, you know, mumble mouth. So then you say to yourself, okay, the obvious must be true. Just because they're lions and pandas and we know they both cats don't mean they both have the same parents. Similar creatures from different species. And there's nothing wrong when we have that conversation about cats. But the moment that somebody says black folks and Europeans are different species, then you gotta be racist, ceiling going cave in, tornado coming through, all kind of crazy shit happening.